So the Kuala Lumpur Peace Accord, the one brokered back in October, it's effectively dead. It's December 15th, 2025, and the rhetoric we're hearing from Bangkok is, well, it's unprecedentedly aggressive.
It really is. And that's our mission in this deep dive,
Mhm.
to show you just how hard that line has become. And more importantly, to get into the motivations behind Prime Minister Newton's choice to double down on conflict instead of diplomacy.
It's a massive shift. The fighting in July felt like a skirmish. This looks like something else entirely.
It feels like preparation for a full-scale offensive.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's start with the military side, because the objectives have totally changed. The Royal Thai Army is now explicitly rejecting a ceasefire. What signal does that send?
It's diplomatic language for demanding capitulation. I mean, by rejecting a formal halt, Bangkok is basically demanding Cambodia unilaterally cease hostilities.
Which is surrender.
It's functionally surrender. This isn't about pushing troops back from the Preah Vihear temple anymore like it was in July. The stated goal now is destroying Cambodia's military capacity along the border. That is a maximalist goal, and we're seeing the force to back it up, right? The F-16 strikes are hitting deeper into Cambodian territory.
Much deeper. They're targeting command posts now, not just border patrols. And you have to remember, they've also spurned mediation attempts this week from both Malaysia and the U.S.
Which shows a certain confidence. Where is that coming from?
Well, you have to look at the domestic pressure. PM Newton has an election in 2026. After those landmine incidents in November that injured Thai Rangers, public sentiment it curdled.
It became a real nationalist wave.
Exactly. And he cannot afford to look weak. The opposition is already accusing him of being too soft, of using that old Shinawatra diplomacy style.
Which is all about trade, not confrontation.
Right, so now he's framing Cambodia as an adversary. He's even accusing Hun Manet of using this border war to distract from his own scandals back home.
So if you connect that political pressure to the strategy, that brings us to the elephant in the room.
The maritime dispute. The oil and gas fields in the Gulf of Thailand around Kuku.
This whole land conflict is really leveraged for that.
It's very likely a pressure campaign. Use extreme force on land to force Phnom Penh to the table on those much more lucrative maritime concessions.
But there's a huge risk involved here. President Trump has threatened 36% tariffs if the fighting doesn't stop. Is Bangkok really calling his bluff?
It seems they are, and it's based on a very cold geopolitical calculation.
Which is?
That their strategic partnership with the U.S. is too important for Washington to throw away. Thailand is betting that its role in checking China's influence in the region will, shield them from the worst of Trump's economic anger.
So they think the U.S. needs them more than they need this specific border to be quiet.
That appears to be the bet. And that confidence is translating into economic warfare. The Thai Navy is blocking high-risk shipments to Cambodia. There's even talk of a full fuel embargo.
That's not a sanction. That's an economic siege.
It absolutely is. And while all this is happening, we have to talk about the human cost. Over 250,000 civilians are already displaced, and that's just on the Thai side. Hospitals in Surin are completely overwhelmed.
250,000 people. And the government's message to them is just...
Endure. Endure. That's the word. The land of smiles has bared its teeth. They're all in on military goals and economic siege over any kind of negotiation.
So as we wrap up, what's the key question for you, the listener, to keep in mind?
It's all about sustainability. Can Bangkok actually maintain this hard line? You've got the political pressure at home, the threat of massive U.S. tariffs, and this huge humanitarian crisis with 250,000 of their own citizens displaced. All of that risk, all that pressure is being taken on for the sake of those maritime concessions. Whether that gamble pays off, that's what will define this conflict going forward.